Right. I'm live, right? Oh, I actually have someone online who's playing Halo. I think that's someone who friended me from Halo, actually. Oh god, I've lost my OBS preview. Ah, there it is. Okay. Normal campaign. I assume it'll have us at the checkpoint at the exit to the control room. So I mentioned before how Halo 1 had a quite troubled development. That's heavily reflected in this last section of the game, where
Abbott located the crash site. We need to buy some time in case the monitor or his sentinels find a way to activate Halo's final weapon without the index. The machinery in these cannons are Halo's primary firing mechanisms. They consist of 3 phase pulse generators that amplify Halo's signals and allow it to fire deep into space. The power levels are enormous. I can't even begin to calculate the pulse's range.
as I was going to say,
if we damage or destroy these generators, the monitor will need to repair them before Halo can be used. That should buy us some time. I'm marking the location of the nearest pulse generator with a nav point. We need to move in and neutralize the device.
I feel like I'm getting a bit of feedback. As I was going to say, there's a sniper rifle up here, but only 4 shots for it, so it was go straight for the pistol. The last few levels of this game, well, the last 3 levels, are all just run through of levels you've previously seen in terms of the geometry, the map geometry. So this one is assault on the control room, and you're just going backwards. And your objective just involves you flying up to, effectively stealing a Banshee and flying up to a room that you otherwise, in most of the level, you couldn't have reached. You could reach it in this area, but it would have been a locked door. Because that was like a Gears of War move, that. Just shotgunning someone the moment they come around the corner. I didn't spend a lot of time playing Gears of War multiplayer for that exact reason. I just spent an awful lot of time getting shotgunned around corners. I just failed to get anyone there. Not spent like 6 bullets to kill 1 grunt. Now, if you want to be bold, you can kind of just jump down the side of this and get away with it sometimes. Pretty sure that's what they do in the speedrun. But it's a bit risky, you're likely to take full damage from doing it. Just stop moving. I believe that tank is active.
Wait, we should commandeer one of those Banshees. We'll need it to reach the pulse generator in time.
Now, there is a rocket launcher over here. As we established previously, There's also a lot of enemies over here. As we established previously, the rocket launcher is not the most reliable weapon in the world, especially on moving targets. Gold leaks down, that's something. Let me take out the wraith. Okay, 2 shots were enough. Right, let's go get my shotgun back. Unfortunately, I already picked up the health kit.
Good. Let's get moving. The nav point marks our target.
So as I say, you're primarily just going backwards through assault and control room in this level. So you come up to each of these upstairs areas. Sometimes there's grunts attacking you, sometimes there's sentinels, sometimes there's flood. It varies. So your objective is to come into this room, and there's always a thing in the middle.
That's the pulse generator. The center core is the signal amplifier.
Cortana's going to
That's
explain.
what we need to shut down. We need to interrupt the pulse generator's energy stream. I've adjusted your shield system so that it will deliver an EMP burst to disrupt the generator, but you'll need to walk into the beam to trigger it. The EMP blast should neutralize the generator, but it will also drain your shields and leave you vulnerable until they recharge.
As you might expect, when it drains your shields, that also triggers a bunch of enemies spawning.
Objective accomplished. The pulse generator has overloaded. Scanning. The generator's central core is offline. Well done.
So you kind of just want to get out of there as quickly as possible. That first one's not too bad because it's just sentinels, but the later
second
ones...
pulse generator is located in the adjacent canyon. Move out and I'll mark the target with a nav point when we get closer.
Ah! So we didn't get to see that in action, but what we just killed was a grunt with a fuel rod cannon.
Head through that door. That's the way to the next canyon.
So the fuel rod cannons are a handheld version of the green explosive shots that you see coming out of the Banshee when I'm piloting the Banshee, and that the the hunters can fire. Now, in Halo 1, all of the AI characters you see wielding one have a dead man switch attached to it, so the moment they die, it self-destructs explosively. Which means if you stand too close to it, it can kill you, and it will chain off. It will chain off. Grenades that are on the floor at the same time. So, unfortunately, even in the multiplayer maps, there is no way of getting a fuel rod cannon to use for yourself. Come on, now let's get to the health kit. Well, the good news was I did stick that elite. The bad news was he was smart enough to run away and therefore save his friend. So as you can see, we're now starting to get a mix of Covenant and Flood enemies in the same level for the first time. Well, technically we did in Guilty Spark, but not in the same encounters. So this starts to get a bit more challenging, because as we've established, the human weapons tend to be good at dealing with the Flood, whereas the Covenant weapons tend to be better at dealing with, well, shielded enemies. So this starts to get a bit difficult in that really so like on the higher difficulties, me coming in with a shotgun or pistol is a pretty bold move. That's me committing to getting close to any Covenant that I want to fight. Which in the case of that sword elite, I only got lucky because a bunch of AI characters got in the way of him taking a swing at me. Thankfully, if you do get into close range, the shotgun is powerful enough to deal with an elite without having to pop his shield first, but you've got to close that distance first. There's a Flood with a rocket launcher down here. It fucks me up every time. Is there? Okay, he's dead. Flood with rocket launchers are always the worst, because they can just kill you in one go if you're unlucky. Oh fuck. Okay, go away from that. Yeah, so as you may have noticed, you've got these arrows on the floor when you're playing Assault on the Control Room. You want to follow those arrows to find your way forward. As soon as you get to this level, you just do the opposite, follow the arrows back. See, this is kind of my misgiving about the Flood. Nope. Oh, there's another guy with a rocket launcher there. He decided to fire it into my face. Which kind of proves the point I was about to make. They're nowhere near as interesting to fight as the Covenant because their AI is just so much simplified. I know that's kind of the point. It's like zombie fiction, you know, they're stupid, etc, etc. And that's why they can have so many attacking you at once, because they don't have to be spending a lot of AI time dealing with a lot of complex routines, etc, etc. This is why I say it feels like a whole... It feels a bit like a holdover from the earlier designs of the game, where they intended for it to be a real-time strategy game. Dude again this one. I really just want to take out rocket launcher guy before he gets anywhere near me. Which I failed to do. Oh, there's two of them. Oh Jesus. Okay, I've knocked one of them out of the hands, that's fine. Oh, there was three of them. Okay, there goes the other two. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying about they didn't actually have any AI routines for things actually being infected, so they just have to do stuff where the NPCs just stand around. To kind of give you the sense of what's going on. Zero viewers. Usually at least get one person to pay attention. Yeah, I guess that's another thing that's a shame about this level versus Assault on the Control Room, is that in Assault on the Control Room you can kind of go quiet through those interior sections and stealth your way through them, whereas in
let's take care of the next pulse generator.
This one, it's just, no, you can't do that. You try and do that, you just buggered. So it's the first time I've driven a ghost in this playthrough. So in some respects this level is really cruel. Like, for instance, my current thing now is I need to get up to a area to set off another one of these pulse generators. But I have to both get through to it and also get myself a Banshee to reach it. So I'm here on my own, having to fight my way through an entire defensive line of Covenant. Mounted guns and vehicles and all. Just solo. I've also not mentioned these wraiths, so the mortar tanks that the Covenant use. There is no capability of using them for yourself in Halo 1. They are for enemy use only. remember coming the other way, we couldn't get a tank through here before. Can squeeze a ghost through. There's some supplies here, which is good. There's also a warthog. The warthog is good if you're playing co-op, but for single player it's not really worth getting. Because on a warthog you can only drive on single player, or shoot. You have to get out and switch places if you want to shoot, and then you're stationary during that time. But at least with a ghost you've got forward fire. It's not going down. There we go. Oh, this bench is pretty damaged. I should probably swap it in for the wall. I'm pretty sure if you're in a vehicle that gets destroyed, when it gets destroyed, it's practically instant death. Oh, that was a pretty aggressive run. Okay, that did destroy the Wraith. Is that all the heavy armour from this area dealt with? I think it is. There might be another Banshee circling around at a higher altitude. I seem to remember fighting two in this area. There it is. Oh, this Banshee's about to blow as well. Jesus. Oh, I didn't get out in time. Wait, did that... So that went from fine to fucked the moment I flew over the parapet, did it? Jesus Christ. That's probably why I got hit by a fucking Banshee bolt. Okay, there must be a grunt over there with a fuel cannon. No, it wasn't a fuel cannon, it was a charged plasma shot. I know it's a fuel cannon. I don't think it works in Halo 1, but in the later games, if you hit a vehicle with a charged plasma shot, it's guaranteed to temporarily disable it. Right, so in this one there's already a fight going on between Flood and Sentinels. Oh, I'm dead. They decided to spot me.
That did it. The pulse generator overloaded. One more to go.
That was a very close rocket shot. I hate when they give the flood rockets. I know I could have taken an opportunity to get some shotgun ammo there, but fuck it.
I've located the pillar of auto. She put down 1,200 kilometers upspin. Energy readings show her fusion reactors are still powered up. That tunnel leads to the next section of canyon. The final pulse generator we need to destroy is through there.
These will have rocket launchers as well, so you need to be careful of that. Do you get a tank in this section? I thought you did, but now that I'm thinking back on it, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, this door fails to open properly, this is preventing you from bringing a vehicle through. And this is an obvious trap, where the moment you get halfway along this bridge, a bunch of flood spawn in. Pistol or shotgun ammo would be appreciated. Sorry, just having a drink. Made a cup of tea before I started streaming. I realised that by this point it's on the cusp of just being too cold to stomach. You know, I don't think you do get a tank in this level, which does mean that Assault on the Control Room is the only level in Halo 1 in which you get a tank. Which is wild. Now that I say that out loud. Okay, so in this canyon, which is the first canyon from Assault on the Control Room, the place we want to get to is up there, where that light is. The problem is, there are no banshees on this side of the canyon, so you have to go all the way back to where we first found those damn Marines, that where we got the Warthog back at the beginning of Assault on the Control Room. Lovely. Yeah, Banshee pilots can just choose to run you over. It's very fun. Thankfully they do go down pretty well with a pistol. Also, if this were Halo 2, what you could do is, with how close that Banshee came to us, you could possibly hijack it. Jesus Christ. Why am I fucking target of the fucking year right now? Oh, we had a rocket launcher. But seriously, I come out here, I'm just standing on my fucking own, and suddenly every piece of Covenant and Flood want to fucking go at me. So the thing is, on high difficulties, you really can't afford to try and take on everyone at once. You need to keep your distance and try and let them thin themselves out. And this is part of why I don't understand the achievement in Silent Cartographer for like getting through the sniper section without alerting anyone, because yes, stealth is an option in this game, but whether you get spotted by an AI or not is far more a function of luck than it is skill, I'm sorry to say. Dead end, is it? It is. Lovely. I was going to say, that'd be the easier solution. We could just not get anywhere near that combat scenario and just go through the tunnel. Right, do any of you guys have pistols or rocket launchers? Because I could do with those. Doesn't look like it. Well, I can borrow a ghost at least. That sounds like a rocket launcher. Do not trust it. Just by the way, if you hold the jump button, which on PC is by default space, Master Chief will lift the front end up a little bit, which is useful for getting over certain low ridges. Oh, we had a rocket launcher. So many of the Flood have rocket launchers in this game. Okay, don't go that way. That's good to know for next time. Right, rather than trying to fight all those guys while I'm in a ghost, I'm just going to get a Banshee and take the fuck off. Goodbye. I know I could get involved in that fight and milk it for challenges, but quite frankly, it's not worth the effort. I've already been at this level for about half an hour, so let's just get this over with. So there's a bunch of ammo and stuff here. It kind of doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is, this is the last thing you do, and as we've established before, you don't carry any of your supplies through from one level to the next. We can ignore all the enemies in here. We don't give a shit. All we need to do is come touch this, and that immediately ends the level.
Final target neutral. Let's get out of here.
There you go.
Let's find a ride and get to the captain.
No, that'll take too long.
Well, better idea.
There's a teleportation grid that runs throughout Halo. That's how the monitor moves about so quickly. I learned how to tap into the grid when I was in the control center. Unfortunately, each jump requires a rather consequential expenditure of energy.
Something tells me I'm not going.
But I'm pretty sure I can pull it from your suit without permanently damaging it. Needless to say, I think we should almost try this once.
God, the audio balance on this cutscene is atrocious.
The Covenant network is absolute chaos. From what I've been able to piece together, their leadership ordered all ships to abandon Halo when they found the Flood, but they were too late. The Flood overwhelmed this cruiser and disabled it. The Covenant are terrified the Flood will repair the ship and use it to escape from Halo. They've sent in a strike team to neutralize the Flood and repair the ship for immediate departure. I've got a good lock on Captain Key's CNI transponder signal. He's alive, and the implants are intact. There's some interference from the cruiser's damaged reactor. I'll bring us in as close as I can.
I guess this does imply that teleportation is not instantaneous, which kind of justifies the plot hole I posited before.
Oh, I see. The coordinate data needs to be... Right. Sorry. Captain? Captain? I've lost him.
Also, they do like bring in the teleportation thing as an excuse to get you from the previous level to this level, and yet they never bring it back again after this. I would like a shotgun. Where did it go? Where did the shotgun go? Oh, well, if my alternative is a plasma pistol, then no, I'm going to assault rifle again until I can find a normal pistol.
Analyzing damage. This hole was caused by some kind of explosive. Very powerful if it tore through the ship's hull. All I detect down there are pools of fluid. We should continue our search somewhere else.
Right, so what happens now is there's an endlessly respawning stream of flood that show up here. You can use it to farm ammo if you want.
Warning, threat level increasing.
Pistol. Guy with a pistol. I don't know where it went. I wanted it.
That jump into the coolant is looking better all the time, Chief.
Yeah, but this guy's got a pistol. I want it. Thank you. Okay, we can go. Wow, that's the texture. That doesn't look great on a modern screen. How's this looking? Oh, that's very green. In the
Let's get out of
remasters.
here and find another way back aboard the ship.
Whoops. Yeah, I was trying to press the flashlight button, not the throw a fucking grenade button. Again, notice how much brighter Anniversary Edition is than normal. Admittedly, there's something wrong with my G-Sync monitor in terms of how I've got the colour grading set up. So I do get some black banding, unfortunately, which isn't happening on my stream preview. So whatever I've got configured wrong on this monitor, on my main monitor, is not happening on my second monitor.
We should head this way, towards the ship's gravity link.
Yeah, they offer you a sniper rifle here because you get a lookout on this area with 2 hunters and a bunch of flood. The thing is, to my recollection, the sniper rifle is not particularly effective against either the flood or the hunters. Also, I'm pretty sure it's another case where there's just endless waves of flood that spawn into that area until those hunters are dead. Fuck off.
Power source detected. There's the gravity lift. It's still operational. That's our way back in.
You stop running up to me and punching me, dudes. Okay, good. I always forget what the trigger is for actually getting that gravity lift cutscene to activate. And now we're back on board the Truth and Reconciliation.
The Covenant battlement is a mess. I can't access the ship's schematics. My records indicate that a shuttle bay should be here. Look, in the corners. The Flood are gathering bodies here.
They don't really what just killed me? They don't really detail what the significance of gathering bodies is in this game. I don't know whether it was always the plan or whether it was a retcon, but by the later games they establish the notion of something that's referred to as a grave mind, which is kind of like a flood hive intelligence built up by like a significant mass of corpses being gathered into a single flood entity. It's a bit macabre, but so the idea being that the flood are kind of working toward building one of those. Most interesting go for this overshield over here. Guess we're going this way. Pretty sure it's not the route we took in Truth and Reconciliation, but if it works, it works. Wait, hold on, is this just took me out back where I was? This just took me upstairs again. Damn it. So let's just jump in. Oh, I love that being right underneath me. How did that grenade not hit any of them? Am I going through a loading zone every time I walk around that corner? Because I threw 2 grenades that then both failed to explode. Fucking hell.
Looks like another shuttle bay. We should be able to reach the control room from the 3rd level.
Right, they're saying another shuttle bay. It is in fact the same one as you previously encountered.
He's delirious. In pain. We have to find him.
Right, I think this door takes you back downstairs. Because this is the route you came up in the previous time you came through here. Again, going back to my comments from when we did Truth and Reconciliation, considering that prior to the events of this game happening, our entire goal as a character was to get access to a, effectively, hijack a Covenant ship. We've now been on board a Covenant ship twice and fought our way through it. Admittedly, now that it's covered with a blooming zombifying parasite, maybe not the best time to consider taking it for our own. But nevertheless, we have twice now boarded and taken free reign of a Covenant ship, which was very much our character's goal prior to this point.
Control room should be this way. moving, please, Chief, hurry!
Detail here. Easy pipe just hanging back under there. I think you do get achievement for looking at that. Also, there's a terminal in here somewhere before we go through the cutscene. What was down one of these? Oh no, there it is.
I forgot something. What did I... My name. I forgot. Oh, Keys. Jacob. Captain. Service number 01928-19912-JK. What is that noise? What is that damn noise? Where am I? Keys, Jacob. Oh, God, it hurts. This will never work, you Covenant bastards. I'll never lead you to Earth. Keys, Jacob. Captain. Service number 01928-19912-JK. Oh God, you don't want Earth, you want everything. Get out of my head.
Yeah, so...
Miranda.
Alright, yeah, there's this whole business.
Forget everything.
No, please, don't let me forget. Keys. Jacob. Captain, service number 1928-19912-JK.
No more what you were. Memories. Emotions. All is now ours.
So that's drawing quite specifically
Keys. Jacob. Captain.
from the novelization of this game, where, as we'll go up and see in a moment, the captain's kind of been integrated into a flood entity that's kind of referred nowadays as a proto-Gravemind, something that would become a Gravemind if left alone. That's trying to delve into his memory to get, trying to delve into his mind to get more information about where to find other sources of food, effectively. That guy up there. almost... Oh crap, we're going to see the remastered version of this now. I didn't think the cutscene trigger was that far back. Well, enjoy the remastered version of this cutscene, it's not what I want to share. Yeah, so in the novelization you get an internal monologue of him effectively using his name and rank and service number as a mantra to try to not leak any information. Which goes back to what I said earlier in the game, where in reality you shouldn't have got caught by the Covenant in the first place, let alone the Flood, so all of this should have been fucking avoided to begin with.
It's done. I have the code. We should go.
Yeah, so Master Chief just punched his face out.
Let's go back to the shuttle bay and find a ride.
His lower jaw and tongue still there, it's a bit macabre. Anyway, yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was in the Halo art book that they revealed that in an earlier version of the game, before they took the flamethrower out, the original version of that cutscene had Master Chief flamethrowing his face off. And it was just a bit too gruesome for the age rating they were going for. That is not obviously another person when you... Okay, I guess they are. Never really acknowledged that before, but there's just other people's bodies sticking out of this. I was going to say it's not obviously another person on the original graphics, but... Right, so, when we open this door, we're going to see our first encounter with the Covenant Spec Ops squad, which is the highest rated Covenant enemies. As far as I can recall, they don't appear in any other game besides Halo 1, actually. Fucking hell. That was a hell of a chain reaction. Yeah, I don't think there's any Spec Ops in any game besides Halo 1. But they have the top tier AI and the Spec Ops elites have the most armor. Also, I'm being quite aggressive in fighting them. Did that stick me? No. Okay, good. Seriously? There's fucking banshees in there?
Perfect. Grab one of the escort banshees and use it to return to the Pillar of Honor.
Damn, that was a good throw. Right, you can run down and follow the path properly, but because you just have to get in a Banshee and that triggers the end level, that's fine, you can just do that. I've definitely done this on high difficulties and jumped in that Banshee and then got hit by enough shot that would just both detonate the Banshee and murder me. But thankfully, the game's been kind enough just to let me fly out and trigger the cutscene, so... Right, final mission. Where half of this level is just a repeat of Pillar of Autumn. So not only do they repeat level geometry, they also repeat level geometry for some of the levels that are not that geometrically interesting. A lot of tight, dark corridors. Which is a shame, but it is what it is. Marathon logo on the side of the ship there. Which is especially weird given that the Marathon logo does appear several times on the Halo installation as well, such as the shape of the control room and Killing Spark's face.
This thing is falling apart.
It'll hold.
We're not gonna make it.
We'll make it.
Pull up! Pull up! You did that on purpose, didn't you?
I think that's just an excuse to make it so you don't have a Banshee for the remainder of the level.
We need to get to the
Why is it
bridge.
getting such crap
From
weapon
there, we can
loadings?
use the captain's neural implants to initiate an overload of the ship's fusion engines. The explosion should damage enough systems below it to destroy the ring.
I could do with some of those carrier forms exploding before I go down there. Or they can just explode on me, that works too. Oh, I'm so dead. Okay, it's gone. Give me some shit that's decent, mate. There we go. The assault rifles are so piss poor. It's actually weird that the hunters get pretty chewed up by the infection forms in this game because canonically they're meant to be quite resilient because as I said before they're not actually like a multicellular organism really, or not in the way that we are, humans are. They're effectively just a collective mass of worms that just have a kind of a hive mind and operate that suit of armour. Now this is one of the harder rooms of the level because there's, I believe there are multiple elites in here that are Spec Ops elites. Yeah, there's several. And there's really not a lot of cover. The thing is, even if you're using a more traditional loadout, it's really hard to close distance on these guys. Okay, there may be one still alive. No, in fact there's more supplies back here, so let's just top up first. Turkey dinner, hamburger dinner, cheeseburger dinner, hot dog dinner, meatloaf dinner, or chef special. Clearly it's the same in remastered. Yep, there was one still alive. So our aim was to get to the bridge, which, if you remember from before, is right near the cafeteria. And I'm stuck. Once you're stuck, you're just dead. Unfortunately, there's no recovering from that.
The bridge. We made it. Get to work.
Right, there are some grunts with fuel rod cannons in here. Who, as you can imagine, in such tight confines, are very lethal.
I need you to upload me into the control systems. The terminal is located next to the main view screen. I leave home for a few days and look what happens. This won't take long. There. That should give us enough time to make it to a lifeboat and put some distance between ourselves and Halo before the detonation.
I'm afraid that's out of the question, really.
Oh, hell.
Ridiculous! That you would imbue a warship's AI with such a wealth of knowledge? Weren't you worried it might be captured or destroyed?
He's in my data arrays, a local tab.
You can't imagine how exciting this is to have a record of all of our lost time. Human history, isn't it? Fascinating.
Because if it's so easy to tap into Cortana's data when she's linked into the ship, why didn't the Covenant fucking do it? Why didn't we pull Cortana out the moment the Covenant boarded?
This installation, as well as this record, I am shocked. Almost too shocked for words.
He stopped the self-destruct sequence.
Why do you continue to fight us, Reclaimer? You cannot win. Give us the construct, and I will endeavor to make your death relatively painless and...
At least I still have control over the comm channels.
Where is he?
I'm detecting taps throughout the ship. Sentinels, most likely. As for the monitor, he's in engineering. He must be trying to take the core offline. Even if I could get the countdown restarted, I don't know what to do.
How much firepower would you need to crack one of the engine shields?
Not much. A well-placed grenade, perhaps, but why? Okay, I'm coming with you. Chief, Sentinels!
In actuality, there's no reason to fight them.
The
You
ship
might
was
as well
heavily
leg it.
damaged when it crashed. Head to the cryo chamber. We should be able to get to the engine room through there.
Oh, head back to Cryo. You mean another part of the level that we've previously seen before? What a surprise. It's almost like you're trying to minimise the amount of new level geometry you need to put us through. That's ridiculous, right? That wouldn't possibly be the case. I'm sorry, I killed like 3 guys with shotguns. I'm getting shotgun ammo. Hello? Where do you come from? Okay, well that did something. Oh. I don't want to get rid of these guys. There we go. I didn't need to do that, but I wanted to. Plasma weapons are usually better at taking out sentinels, but... Oh, this room's a bit of a pig. It's not this room in particular, actually, it's the following room. Right, it's this corridor here that is an absolute fucking nightmare. Because they spawn an awful lot of flood to the point where I've occasionally wondered whether they even fucking stop. And they keep mixing in carrier forms, like so. Which means it's very easy to get grenade chain reactions kicking off on this corridor. If that happens, it's very easy to get killed, no matter how much health you've got. Because a grenade chain reaction doesn't necessarily detonate the grenade immediately, it can launch the grenade before you, towards you before it detonates. Okay, thankfully it was kind of kind to us this time around, but yeah, that corridor is murderous sometimes. That's a dead end anyway. Where did my health go? Did I get caught up in an explosion without realising it? Which way do I want to be? Not this way. Whoa, that was a delayed throw. And a chain reaction that killed me. Great. Are you fucking kidding me? How many times do I have to shoot you in the fucking face, mate? There. Right, there's one fucker of a flood that comes through that door. I'm pretty sure it's the only flood in the game that has active camo. There. Oh no, wait, there's more than just the one guy who comes through, clearly. Yeah, so the armour is an optional area. I'm only coming in here to get the rocket launcher. This is one of the few places in the game where I think the rocket launcher is actually worth having and using. If it all goes pear-shaped in this next room, you can always come back to the armory, but you shouldn't need to.
Engine room located. We're here.
Okay, so this is the closest we get to a
Alert.
final boss
The
fight in this
monitor has
game.
disabled all command access. We can't restart the countdown. The only remaining option is to detonate the ship's fusion reactors. That should do enough damage to destroy Halo. Don't worry, I have access to all of the reactor schematics and procedures. I'll walk you through it. First, we need to pull back the exhaust cover. That will expose the shaft that leads to the primary fusion drive core.
Fuck. The thing is, you can loop all the way around these walkways and get up that way. Which is fine, but it's slow. Using these as a jumping pad is a lot quicker. But also a lot more awkward. Oh fucking hell.
We have a straight shot into
Didn't
the
mean to
fusion
fall.
reactor. We need a catalyst explosion to destabilize the magnetic containment surrounding.
Fuck off.
Use an explosive. I recommend a grenade or rocket. If you run out of explosives, there is an armory station located near the
Can I
engine
open the flaps again, please? There we go. Right, so the way this works, which I've done a bad job demonstrating on this particular attempt, you need to pull back each of these reactor vents, and then once you've got it pulled back, there's the flaps that open and close, and you want to get something explosive to go behind those flaps, and doing so will detonate that particular reactor vent. Oh, lovely. You need to do that for all 4 reactors.
Surrender the construct, and I will endeavor to make the necessary repairs as quickly as possible.
Oh, I'm nearly dead. Hide in here.
Or I will be forced to take you offline permanently.
Keep it up. Only one more fusion reactor to go.
Yeah, if you get a good run at it, you can kind of get through them pretty quick. Okay, we're done.
That did it. This engine's gone critical.
Okay, we want to hold on to this for a bit longer,
Have 15
actually.
minutes to get off the ship. Don't have much time. We should move outside and signal for evac. Accessing schematics. There's a service lift at the top of the engine room. It leads to a Class 7 service corridor that runs along the ship's dorsal structure. Hurry!
There's a Spec Ops crew, and now there's not anymore. Yeah, you really want to hold on to that last rocket launcher blast just to get rid of them, because otherwise it's another case of you're in a pretty open space dealing with a lot of enemies that can just kind of pin you down really easily. I'm pretty sure there's a health kit up here. I hope there's a health kit up here, because doing this next bit with only one chunk of health is not fun.
Negative. We have a wildcat destabilization of the ship's fusion core.
the
I
fusion
didn't see a
drives
health kit.
detonate. We need to
Oh,
keep
there's one over there.
activating final countdown timer. When it reaches 0, the engines will detonate. The explosion will generate a temperature of almost 100 million degrees. Don't be here when it blows.
Okay, so now we're on the Warthog run. We're on a fixed time limit, and we just have to get out. As we've previously established, the Warthog that itself is indestructible. We are not. We can still take damage while we're driving it, so we're not immortal doing this. Also, the Warthog can flip, and if it flips and kicks you out of it, you've got to right it again. So, while this is new geometry, it's a bit cut and paste in terms of what you go through. The rooms all vary slightly, but they're very much just made up of the same parts. Given that this is meant to be a maintenance corridor, I don't know who would design it to be like this, but, you know. You get these open rooms with a lot of jumps and tunnels and stuff, and then you get these twisty segments here where they have ramps on alternating sides. So you can take a shortcut if you do a really quick turn into that side tunnel. It just puts you around the S-bend, but it's not worth doing. In my experience, unless you're really good at steering this thing, because usually I fail to line it up properly and then it just flips me. On some of these rooms you can also come over to this side, and there's like a little bridge thing that you can go over, which is slightly quicker than doing the jumps and stuff. Just for the record, the interior space of the Pillar of Autumn ship mostly makes sense with respect to the exterior model that you see, because although I took the piss out of the Halo model for clearly not being to scale, that is not true for the Pillar of Autumn model. The Pillar of Autumn is actually to scale. It's a kilometre-long ship. Now, you may notice that we have, over the course of this, driven 2 kilometres. That is because this tunnel does not fit into that ship. It is both far too long, and in fact we end up by the end of this having done about 3 kilometres, so it's too long by a factor of 3. But it's also far too elevated.
This is where Fohammer is coming to pick us up. Hold position here.
Okay, so this is a story sequence. Normally you can just blow straight past this if you are just interested in getting done quickly, but I'll show it off the screen. Yeah, so that's pretty much the death of the only other named human NPC besides Captain Keyes. Although when you think about it, we've effectively just been AWOL and acting on our own accord since Guilty Spark. Arguably since Guilty Spark, because it was Cortana who sent us to go intercept the captain. Admittedly, Fohammer gave us the list there, and then we got warped away from there by Guilty Spark, and then since we got back from that, we've just been doing our own thing. Right, this jump's a bit awkward. You can't just gun it, because otherwise the car just flips and you take the fall damage and you die. It still flipped, unfortunately, so it's fine. You can take the fall damage. If you get lucky, you can just do that in one go and just go through that U-bend and look really sick doing it, but you have to get really lucky in my experience. It's not something you can easily do reliably unless you're more practiced than I am. And in this final run, you have to get out of the car because there's stuff in the way. The game wants you to go down the middle, where there's a lot of like interceding gunfire between Covenant and flood. I'm always in the habit of going up this left flank because, quite frankly, on Legendary, the last time I did this on Legendary difficulty, I had so little health that I did not want to risk going through a fucking gunfight. Whereas the left flank is always clear of enemies, so if you go up that left flank, it's pretty clean. It takes you slightly longer, but as long as you're not too tight on time, it's fine.
Here we go.
I would mod this game just to change that line to be the CVT Lego Yoda. Okay, here we go. That was a terrible impersonation. There's a reason I don't do impressions or anything. It's because I'm bad at them. Again, the Halo model not being to scale, obviously I understand it, and in that context it doesn't look bad. When they have fixed control over the camera, it doesn't look bad at all. It's entirely the problem is, in that first part where you see it at the beginning of Pillar of Autumn and you're in the cockpit, the issue you have is that you can move left and right and you can clearly tell by the change in perspective how close it is. And really what they should have done is tied the movement of the ring to your movement to mock the perspective a bit better.
Just dust and echoes.
It's such a minor thing. I don't know whether that would have been too costly because obviously you have to translate quite a lot of geometry to make that work, but
An entire Covenant armada obliterated and the Flood. We had no choice. Halo, it's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
And the best part about that cutscene, I mean, you can kind of see it now that you're playing in high resolution for a few frames there. People have got on free cam and looked at in the interiors around that cutscene, and underneath his helmet is just another helmet. Okay, so two things that we didn't see because we were playing on relatively low difficulty. First of all, there's a little comedy cutscene where the Sergeant Johnson character, again, he's not called Johnson in this game. At no point during this game is he called Sergeant Johnson, but that's who he becomes in the later games, so we can call him that. Is there hugging an elite just before the ship explodes. Obviously not canonical because he's in subsequent two games. And the other thing is, I'm pretty sure it's on, if you play on Legendary difficulty, there's a stinger that plays, it would have been after the credits on the original version of the game, showing that Guilty Spark survived the destruction of Halo. Right, so that's Halo 1. Overall, the campaign for Halo 1 is very up and down. The best levels are fun, but they're not blow your mind. I mean, like I said, I still think in some respects Silent Cartographer is the best level they've ever designed, but it's not a template for building an entire campaign on, unfortunately. It's just, you can maybe have a couple of those per campaign, but it's not your bread and butter, unfortunately. They don't do as much with the vehicles. There's a lot of levels that are lots of tight corridors. But for a game that came out in 2001, so 20 years ago, it was quite impressive. I mean, I don't know, I'm trying to think what the contemporaries were at the time. I mean, obviously Half-Life 1 was 98, so you're kind of in that in-between period between Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. Obviously Half-Life 2 is a big jump above Halo and very much trying to do a different thing, but it was also revolutionary for just being one of the first-person shooters that really makes sense for a gamepad. I mean, obviously, we had stuff like GoldenEye that was clearly successful and popular, but unfortunately, you're never going to convince me that GoldenEye actually controls well compared to modern shooters. Like, you know, I played GoldenEye relatively recently. I was at I guess you can call it a barcade. It's an esports bar, but they had consoles hooked up. And yeah, that is not a great control scheme on an N64 controller. I didn't get to try the dual controller like input scheme for it, but it's not a great control scheme. Yeah, and the multiplayer was good. We're not going to do any multiplayer tonight, but the main thing that kind of skews the multiplayer is the weapon balance, as we saw in the campaign, is completely fucking broken. It's like, you either want a power weapon or a pistol, and that's basically it. Like, everything else is junk, you know? Like, you can... So in Halo 1, even the combination that I did on a lot of the elites of using the plasma pistol to get rid of the shields is not that useful, because the truth is the standard pistol in multiplayer is so effective. You can kind of knock out anyone's shield within about 4 or 5 shots anyway, well placed. So anyway, I'm rambling. That was Halo 1. Similar to what I said earlier on Banjo, I do have the sequels on my shortlist for stuff I want to pick up for later streams, but that will not be something I start doing anytime soon, so we'll come back to that at a later date. Okay, thanks for watching, whoever's been watching, and then probably see you tomorrow, and I don't know whether we'll do more Metroid Dread or what. Right, see ya.